yeah, I should win just because you had the Timberwolves in the 8th seed.
Vasilevsky's been playing really well, and the Lightning have a great offense.
Yeah, it was a tremendous shot, and I've come to expect it from LeBron. I would say I wish the best for the Red Sox, but as a Yankees fan, that's really hard for me to do.
The biggest addition to me is Jalen Brunson.
Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and that's all I have to say. He's still a top 5 quarterback in this league, and there's nothing really anyone can do about it.
Why'd you have to name him? Like, seriously? Like, thanks, man.
Who would have thought 5 years ago that the Clippers and Nets would be facing in the finals?
How is Joe Burrow going to get the ball to them if his butt is already on the ground?
Crazy. And for the fans at home,
Hello, I'm Cy Mendenhall, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. We did an NHL draft video. However, this one's probably going to be longer because a lot happened in the NBA draft lottery. And I am joined by the man who I'm not sure was watching it live.
I was.
Okay, Austin, yeah.
I was watching it with my dad.
Your team got number 2, so I don't know how you feel.
We were projected number 2. We technically had tied for the best odds, but we were number 2. We stayed at 2. I can't be mad with that. I don't think you can ever be mad, Kevin, when you're at the spot that you were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you can only get happy. I remember last year I may have watched it, or I don't know if I watched it. You may have had this. I don't think I watched it. I just saw we got 10. I was happy. But a team that was projected to get 10 got number 1, which is kind of funny because the Mavs have historically have had bad draft lottery odds or luck. And the Atlanta Hawks get the number 1 overall pick. How do you feel about this draft?
It's not necessarily the best draft in the world, but getting the number 1 pick in any draft is definitely a huge, huge improvement, especially when you were supposed to have pick 10.
Yes, that's a good point. And yeah, I think we can get into speculation mode. When I first saw this, because I didn't watch it live, I kind of forgot. I was like, oh, and then I was like, Hawks are number 1. So I think we just start talking about the Hawks, right? And then we'll go through the other ones since we've done that.
Yeah, we'll go in order, but one thing I would like to mention is I believe this is the first team that played in a play-in and got the number 1 pick.
Huh.
Because the Hawks lost their play-in game against the Bulls.
Yes, that is correct. And I believe it's the first time Atlanta's had...
This is the first time we've had the number 1 pick in the lottery era.
Got it.
So they have had the number 1 pick before, but it was a long time ago. It was, I think, 48 or 49 years ago.
Okay, and then I can ask you this question. My first thought was, I think they trade Trae Young, given this. Because now they have someone else to build around.
True. A number 1 pick is sometimes franchise altering. Mm-hmm. I think they could trade him, and if they do trade him, it would probably be to San Antonio.
Ooh, okay, so you're thinking San Antonio.
Think about it, Kevin. San Antonio has picked 4 and 8 in this draft. If the Hawks want to rebuild, they get 4 and 8. And if you get 4 and 8, say again.
Sorry. But do you want that in this draft class, this year's?
I guess not. But if you're gonna rebuild, why not get 3 in the same draft class? You could really bolster your team. If you want to go, for example, there's talk about maybe Klingon or Stephon Castle, one of the UConn guys, getting a really, really high draft pick. Maybe they don't want to take Sarr. You take Klingon at 1, and then his college teammate Castle at 4, and then you take someone else at 8, and you are rebuilding around a strong young core. You still have DeJounte Murray. You get another guard, obviously, in Stephon Castle, who's much more of a defensive guard. You get Donovan Klingon for your center, and you get maybe another guy, Cody Williams, or somebody at 8. But I wouldn't hate it. I know this isn't the strongest draft class, but people got to remember, we're saying that before we see any of these guys play. There's been draft classes that were supposed to be great and we're not. And there's been classes that were supposed to be bad and we're good. This class could turn out to be a better class than we know. So I don't think it'd be a crazy thing for the Hawks to do that, but I also think it wouldn't be crazy for the Spurs to give away that because they have young guys like Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, obviously Wemby. And then if you trade for a guy like Trae Young, you're really catapulting your team into playoff contender status.
Yeah, because Victor Wembanyama is that guy. My only concern is Trey Young's defense, but
When you have Wemby, it doesn't matter.
yeah, it's true. And yeah, because I'm trying to think, Timberwolves Cat was viewed as a bad defender before the Rudy Gobert trade.
Yeah, now that he's not a great center defender, but as a power forward, he's really shown his versatility and his ability to defend multiple positions.
And I don't like Mitchell, I believe, was viewed as a good defender, right? With the Jazz.
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. Right.
Yeah, he's been okay. He's fine.
Okay. Because I'm just trying to think of like big centers and like bad defensive guards.
Yeah. There's definitely been some guys that it's worked out for, but I think the Spurs could make it work.
Yeah. And it may not. I was thinking like I don't know. Though I do talk to a Magic guy, and he was like Trey Young, and I don't know if that'd work. But to me, that's just what my first thought was. Okay, I feel like Trey Young's going to be gone because this is a new reset button when you get the number 1 overall pick. Because you could go another way. You trade the number 1 overall pick to get pieces now to help Trey Young, but I don't think they go that route.
I don't think they do. I could really see them keeping Trey and trading DeJounte.
Okay.
Maybe they trade DeJounte back to the Spurs, and it would take maybe a picker, somebody to move. But I could really see either one of those guys. I do think they trade somebody.
Yeah, and I think they're going to do some type of retooling, and this is kind of pushed to the forefront because they have the number 1 overall pick, and you get to change. Even though I'm not really sure who the number 1 overall pick is, but yes, that's probably exciting for Atlanta. And then we got Washington at 2. Any more thoughts about that?
I like Washington being at 2. I hope we take either Castle or Rasacher here. Sar may go 1, and if Sar does go 1, then I'm really happy with Rasacher or Stephon Castle. So either a small forward, which is Rasacher, or point guard in Castle. I would love Castle. Our point guard situation was horrible last year with Tyus Jones. So,
and yeah, Jordan Poole is more of a shooting guard, right?
Yeah. So I'm totally fine with getting Castle.
Yeah, and then Houston to me could be a team where we see him trade this pick for a player.
Well, here's a discussion. If you're Atlanta and Houston comes up to you is like, hey, we'll give you 3 and 12 for 1, would you take it?
I would only take it if they are not trading. No, but I think you keep the number 1 because of how viewed this draft class is as bad. You get the chance to get the number 1 guy.
Okay. That's fair. And Houston does have 3 and 12, so I can still see them having a great draft. I do think that they'll be able to get. I mean, they're already a young team. They got close to a playoff spot, so I think they'll be good.
Yeah, I thought 12 went to Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. Oh, that's right. That's right. But Houston got. I thought Houston. Oh, wait. Did Houston not get 2? I thought Houston got 2.
Houston got.
No. I'm not saying not pick 2. I thought they had 2 picks. Maybe their other pick is a team that's not in lottery.
I think that's correct because from what I saw, yeah, I have Houston at 3, then San Antonio at 4. Which, do you think Klingon? How tall is Devin Vassell? That's their center, right?
Wait. For who?
Or no, for San Antonio. Isn't there...
San Antonio? Their center is Wembanyama.
Well, yeah, but isn't there another big guy? I know it's Wembanyama, but isn't there another big guy? Maybe it's Devin Vassell.
Devin Vassell's like 6'5". He's not their big guy. They have Keldon, who's also around 6'5". They have like Zach Collins, who's like their backup center, but I don't know necessarily if they have another.
Okay. I was trying. Okay, so hear me out. This could be totally crazy. Klingon's like 7'2", right? Or he's also tall.
He's 7'1", 7'2", yeah.
What if San Antonio has seen the success of tall, like be front court? Because Cat is like close to 7 foot, right?
Yeah, he's around there.
What happens if they go? Because we already talked about like the defensive power of Wembanyama. What happens if they decide to go with Klingon at the 4th overall pick to help that front court?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Right now they have Klingon going at 3 though, so he would have to
Okay.
fall to 4.
Got it. I didn't know if that's like totally crazy, but I know
It's
that
not. It's not. I'm just looking at Tankathon, and right now Tankathon is predicts the Rockets to take him at. But I don't really see that as the greatest possibility because the Rockets already have Alperen Şengün.
Mhm. And he's playing center. He's not. He can't move to forward.
He
Or
could,
wait, no.
but his
there-
best situation would definitely be, in a 5 role.
Got it. So yeah, that was my view. And San Antonio is a team that has 2 picks in the top 14.
8.
Yeah, top 10. So that's something. And man, Detroit is not really going to get much help as their lottery odds. They're a team, like I mentioned, the Mavericks have just had to reset.
But they had the number 1
recent-
pick
yeah.
with Cade.
Yeah,
I don't feel
that's
bad.
true.
They had Cade number 1
Okay.
pick. You can't be crying too much. Your team has been bad for a lot of years now. It is what it is. But you definitely don't like to see a team fall from the best odds to this is as low as they possibly could go at 5. But it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. But yeah, very recently biased. You're like, man, that really stinks for him. But yeah, they did have Cade Cunningham. Now you have Charlotte at 6.
Yeah, we'll see how much they're able. It's more about health with them. Keeping LaMelo Ball on the court is their most important thing.
Then you got Portland at 7.
Yeah, it's not the greatest draft in the world, but you'll still be able to improve your team.
Okay, and then yeah, I'm gonna stick on the San Antonio Klingon thing. What happens if San Antonio really likes the potential of Klingon with Wembanyama in that front court? What happens if they take 4 and 8 in trade with either Washington? I don't know if you would say no, or Houston.
I would love if Washington traded down for 4 and 8. I would love that because that gives us a better chance of getting Castle. I think it's definitely possible. I wouldn't hate that trade at all.
Okay.
I don't know if San Antonio would have to be banking on like that type of move, but the problem with Klingon is he can't really shoot. But I guess Wemby can, so you'd only have one guy who can't shoot. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. And this, I wanted to run it by you. See, like, is this a basketball sense? Because we're seeing what the Timberwolves are doing in that length, and I don't think we really see that with OKC. Like you have Chet, but I don't think the 4th guy I think is it Jalen Williams? Jalen Williams or Lou Dort?
Yeah, I guess kind of. It depends on who's on the court. Sometimes it's like Arkansas, it's Jay Will. Sometimes it's actually
Okay.
J Dub. It really depends.
Got it. So yeah, that was just my kind of view. I was like, I wonder if San Antonio goes that route. Now we have Memphis at 9. Maybe their team. I'm thinking all the teams above them use this to draft a rookie. Memphis may go a different route.
I can see Memphis taking a guy like Dalton Connect that is a lot more. It's a senior, 5th-year senior that is really, really good. I really like Connect, but they could go with an older guy that can contribute immediately. Maybe he doesn't have the highest of the peaks, but could contribute immediately to winning basketball.
Yeah, and I think number 8 was from the Raptors, who were trying to tank and they just could not get it. So it goes to San Antonio. I think that's the Jakob Poeltl trade.
Yeah.
So that hurts the Raptors, who are a team that's definitely rebuilding. Now you have Utah at 10. I don't think there's much. Chicago at 11. And then Oklahoma City at 12. And they're a team that this really benefits them as they were the number 1 team.
It's another team that could take Connect. They're going to take a guy, or they could trade. It really, they have so many avenues, like you were trying to say. Being a number 1 pick, you have so much you can do. And
Well,
they,
you have Casey Wallace from last year, and I really like Casey Wallace's potential.
Yeah.
So this just gives them more ammunition to help them for a team that's already has a solid foundation. It can just make them more of a title contender.
Yep.
Then you have Sacramento at 13 and then Portland at 14.
Yeah, Portland with 7 and 14 could have the possibility of trading up into the top 5. Maybe you trade a younger guy you're not that happy with 7 and 14, because I could see a team trying to trade down.
Yeah, and they're a team that's definitely just trying to gather up picks. So, yeah, I think this is exciting for Atlanta and just the news of what could happen. I'd go Atlanta, Houston, Memphis, and I'm going to say Oklahoma City are the 4 teams where they could take this pick and go get a player now from a team and use that in some type of deal. I view all the other teams as, okay, we're going to either trade up to get a better young player or just take young players because they're in that type of goal for their season.
Yeah, maybe. I think we're going to have to see like how the end of the season finishes out. But I could see maybe a team like the Kings. They still have a good core. They could trade that pick to get another player. But also some young guys, some rookies can help a team compete immediately. So it's going to depend on who falls, whose stock rise, and what coaches really feel like their team needs.
Yeah, and I think we saw the Kings do it when they got the number 3 or number 4 overall pick, and they selected their current power forward now. I can't remember his name. He's a good shooter.
Keegan Murray?
Keegan Murray. And with the new CBA, you may also want younger players because of that contract. But we'll just have to see because the CBA is new, so there are different routes. But, yeah, that's all we got. I'll toss this over to you to close it out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Where does your team fall in the lottery? And if they aren't in the lottery, what pick will they have or predict it? Please catch you in the next video.